Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan battle video. So in this video I thought we would just take a brief look at what the expected rewards we can get from each of the various types of Pettan battle categories there are. So obviously there is a Zenian category, Awakening Medals category, Training Items category, and a Potential Orbs category. So I thought what we do is we do one perfect run, basically of each and every single category. We would then calculate how many runs we can reasonably do in the week-long period that Pettan battle is up, and then get some idea roughly at what the numbers we can get. Obviously bear in mind that this requires a perfect run each time of the Pettan battle, and that there are some bonus mechanics in play depending on how many linking characters you have, favorable type matchups you have, and obviously opposition matchups you have. So there are a couple of mechanics that we may not get right every single time, which can vary with the results, but I think it'll still give us a good idea of exactly what you can expect and what would be worth it. Overall though, I definitely think it's still worth it to regularly do Pettan battle, no matter what sections you choose. It's definitely well worth it to do Pettan battle. The rewards are still great for you overall. Another thing to bear in mind is that the way it works is obviously it takes, well, at minimum 40 minutes, but on average with the perfect runs it takes roughly about an hour to complete a run, and then you have to wait an hour cooldown. So while you finish the one run, you can then shift to another area while it's on cooldown and do another one. So ideally you can do at least 2 sections. So when we show the results at the end, you are able to do at least 2 of those, or you could split it however way you want, but it's just to get a good idea. You can see on the screen right now we're just claiming the Zeni rewards. Obviously a lot of people do struggle with certain different aspects of the game. So if you are someone who struggles to get Zeni, you're just not lucky with it, you don't like farming it, you can obviously definitely catch up on that here. If you're someone who doesn't farm potential orbs, or maybe you're a new player and they're not so common, you can focus on that. Maybe you need awakening medals, maybe you somehow really struggle with awakening medals, you can pick those up, and then training items as well, you can pick those up. So there's a section that you can choose from, and there's no real right answer. A lot of people will tell you, oh, this is most efficient, or oh, this is easy to get, or oh, you can't get these so much. But the longer you play the game, the more you just kind of accumulate resources over time. So it's really just going to depend on how you feel. One thing is, as far as I know, it's not entirely possible to determine what type of item you get. So like you can't determine that you're going to get physical orbs or AGL orbs or AGL training items or anything like that, or there's no real way to determine which medals you get, what kind of medals you get. So I don't know if that has to do with the enemy you face, or the units you use, or the bonuses, but it doesn't seem to have a mechanic that I at least can explain to you or understand enough to give you a rational concept behind it. But I think overall you probably find it just averages out to be pretty fair amongst the typings if you run Pettan battle as much as you can. So yeah. But yeah, we'll go through the results at the end. Obviously we're just taking a look on screen. You'll see each time that we finish the stages we are getting cards back. Sometimes you can get really unlucky and get some pretty crap cards back, which will obviously kind of prevent you from may sometimes prevent you from clearing up the next run. But I mean, depending on how much you sleep, you can challenge Pettan quite a few times in the week. So you can definitely get a good amount of prizes. So yeah, I still would definitely suggest doing it. Obviously you also get some dragon stones for finishing the collection. So there's no real reason not to do Pettan battle. But at the same time, I don't think they should make the rewards too enticing for Pettan battle. The reason being is I don't think people should feel obligated to do Pettan battle. I think they can buff the rewards slightly. But I think, there needs to be a fine line between it being a fun optional side content or like mini content for people to do for people that want to more passively enjoy Dokkan or get more rewards to enjoy their Dokkan, rather than like you have to do Pettan battle. If you don't do Pettan battle, you will not have enough orbs, or you will not have enough training items, or you will not have enough Zenny. I think that's not the best way for Pettan battle to head into. I think right now its rewards are decent. They're definitely decent if you know what you're doing and you manage to clear the stages each time. They can add up to be quite a bit, as we'll see at the end. But yeah, it's definitely good rewards, but I wouldn't say, yeah, it could definitely be buffed up. But we might find over time they adjust the rewards, or they make the periods longer, they make it longer than a week. So it's just going to be interesting to see really what happens and where we kind of go to from there. But it's also going to just, obviously you can go back and rewind if you wish. But I'm obviously also showing the rewards collection just so that everyone can get a good look at the amount of rewards that we get per attempt. Like I say, things like the medals and all that, there's no real way to control which medals drop. So, you know, as far as I know, I'm just going to kind of tally things up per typing. I'm not really going to differentiate between, oh, we got this tech item or this int item or anything like that. We're just going to kind of take a holistic total view at what we got and the items we got and everything like that. So now we have wrapped up all of the prizes. Let's take a look at the tally of a perfect run of each and every single type. And then we'll take a look at the maths and get a good idea. So we got 2.924 million Zenny, 2.64 million XP worth of training items, 22 small orbs, 23 medium orbs, and 6 large orbs. We then got 15 common medals, 7 rare medals, 3 super rare medals, and 2 ultra rare medals. So, pretty decent rewards right there. I basically calculated it on the fact that it's 2 hours per run. There's 16 hours per day, which means you can do 8 runs of a single type per day, which means you can do 56 runs. Obviously, you can do 2 different typings, because while one's on cooldown, you can do the other. So you can get at least 2 kind of areas maxed out. If you do this, you will get 163.7 million Zenny, 147.8 million XP, 1,232 small orbs, 1,288 medium orbs, and 336 large orbs. Obviously, some of this is prone to variance depending on bonuses and things like that. You might get more small orbs than medium orbs, you might get some more large orbs, but this is all just pretty much a good idea or metric to take a look at how many you get. Then, of course, obviously we would get 840 common medals, 392 rare medals, 168 super rare medals, and 112 ultra rare medals. So, yeah, pretty good numbers overall. In terms of the Zenny, that is enough for 5 EZAs. In terms of the XP, it's roughly 11 million XP to max a unit, so that without locations. So that is essentially maybe 14 or 13 units maxed. And then in terms of orbs, that's roughly about 1/5 of a unit, which is not too bad actually, considering the values that you are getting. And then of course we have the medals. The medals in themselves are pretty decent, but I mean it's impossible really to say whether that's good or bad. But if you're someone who struggles with medals, they're really going to help you out. Overall, if I do suggest, I would suggest Zenny. I notice a lot of people struggle with it. A lot of people don't like grinding Zenny from stages or from, you know, EZAs. So definitely pick up the Zenny. And then the second one I would suggest is more than likely the potential orbs. At least for me, I find that to be the second most valuable, because I'm always awakening free-to-play units and getting them to 100%. But yeah, but focus on the Zenny and then pick the second section to whatever suits you and your playstyle and what you like to farm. But that's going to be it from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, cheers and bye.